University for tonight's United Women's Soccer match featuring FC Berlin and your Erie Commodores. And now for tonight's starting lineups, first for Berlin. In goal, number 1, Hannah Johnson. The defenders, number 25, Tiana Bucknor. Number 17, Laura Gawley. Number 13, Claire D. Benditatum. Number 3, Kathleen Hoger. Number 34, Jada Ward. The midfielder is number 40, Selena Bernard. The forwards are number 20, Tegan Morrison. Number 5, Kylie Maranto. Number 16, Jillian Rovers. And number 4, Kaylee Valente. And now the starting lineups for your Erie Commodores. In goal, number 14, McKenna Yarrow. The defenders, number 6, Leah Bermudez. Number 22, Hannah Shepard. Number 21, Olivia Dixon. Number 10, Ella Fideo. Number 16, Grace Emanuel. Number 18, Kylie Cross. And the forwards, number 3, Rebecca Haversky. Number 12, Leah Keogh. Number 9, Alexa Dix. And number 7, Brooklyn Respecki. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Once again, fans, the Commodores would like to thank Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Visit Erie, John Russell Brewing Company, and the Erie Sports Center for their support during the 2023 campaign. The Commodores women's squad will wrap up their 2023 season home slate on July 8th when they host Flower City right here at 5 p.m. That's a Saturday.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Coming to you tonight from Mercyhurst University, Jack Quinn with you here. Erie Commodores and Berlin FC women's action on a gorgeous night here on Father's Day weekend. Hope everyone out there, all the fathers, have a great weekend and a great Father's Day tomorrow. Again, we couldn't ask for better weather. That's not the easiest two words to piece together, but I did it there. It's about 68 degrees. Sun starting to set, wind dying down, as is normally the case. Might be a factor in the first half. One other thing, there is a baseball game going on behind us, so you may see an errant foul ball fly onto the field on the right side of your screen at some point. Once we get underway, I'll give you the starting lineups here for Berlin and Erie. Berlin will be in the all gray with white numbers, some pink trim. Erie going with, I think this is their first combo of the year, mixing it up. It's a good look with yellow uniforms and blue pants with the blue socks. It's sort of like the reverse of the Michigan Wolverines. So it should be a great night for soccer. We were home last Sunday afternoon, and it ended up turning out to be a great afternoon weather-wise as the two squads split. Erie lost to Buffalo, the women's team, and then the men with a wild 1-0 win. They scored 5 minutes in, and it held up 1-0. We had two players, one for each side, red carded off. It was a wild game. Then the Commodore men, this is the Commodore women first game since that Buffalo outing. A very impressive Buffalo squad. The Commodore men fell on the road to Akron on Wednesday by a score of 5-0. So glad you could join us wherever you may be joining us from here tonight.
Lex.
And we're underway here from Mercyhurst University. Look at the starting lineups. Berlin, Hannah Johnson is in goal, number 1. The defenders, Tiana Bucknor, Laura Goley, Claire Di Bendito. That's easy enough to say. I screwed it up on the starting lineups on the public address, so I apologize. It's not a hard name to say, but I spelled it out phonetically and wasn't good. At any rate, I apologize if any of her family is watching. Catherine Hoger, Jada Ward, the lone midfielder listed as a starter, Selena Barnard. The forwards are listed, Tegan Morrison, Kylie Moranto, Jillian Rovers, Kaylee Valentek, the starting lineup for Berlin. For Erie in goal, it'll be McKenna Yarrow, number 14, the defenders, Leah Bermudez, Hannah Shepard, the midfielders, Olivia Dixon, Ella Fidel, Grace Emanuel, and Kylie Cross. The forwards, Rebecca Habersky, Leah Keogh, Alexa Dix, and Brooklyn Respecki. As you see, far side, Erie with the throw. Early cross, early chance, and that ball's loose in front. Can the Commodores get a shot off here? All kinds of room on the near side. That was a good recovery, but a beautiful shot goes in the top left corner of the net, and Erie strikes right away. What a shot by Habersky, and it's 1-0, a minute 30 in.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 3, Rebecca Habersky.
So the women's squad, taking a page from what the men did on Sunday, they scored about 5 minutes in here, a minute 30 in. And Erie, I mean, it was a brilliant goal. Now, again, it was a pretty good recovery by the keeper Johnson and her defenders because she dove for a ball and then had it knocked free or slip free, whichever it was, and it was loose, but it looked like they had gotten the clear. But there was all kinds of room for Habersky, and she just put in a brilliant left footer. And here's another chance for Erie right off the bat. And that was a beautiful attempt on the run from number 10, Ella Fideo. It is stopped on the dive. I'm not sure that would have gone in anyway, but obviously Johnson, you got to go after anything, and it'll be a corner here for Erie. But boy, you won't see a harder. And loose in front again, and we're going to get a foul, I think, on Erie. There was a collision as Johnson, the keeper, is down. I didn't see who it was that collided with her. But that's a break that they got that whistle because, once again, the ball was loose in front. So Hannah Johnson appears to be all right and plays it short on the goal kick. And this will be a throw all Erie here. I mean, they lead at 1-0, but we're in the 5th minute. And the whole match with maybe a little, they played it back one time to the keeper Yarrow. But, I mean, it's almost like so far the field's been physically tilted in Erie's favor. And they're going to get, this will be a goal kick as it ricocheted off of a Commodore player. Well, speaking with Bex Young, the Commodores coach, before the game, optimistic about postseason. She said that it could have been a handball there. It looked to me like Morrison might have inadvertently hit her hand, but no matter as they battle for the ball. As we're probably just a little bit past the midway point, which is hard to believe. Feels like the season just started, but optimistic as I guess 8 of the 16 get into the postseason. And it'll be a free kick for Erie here. And this will be Habersky, who scored that goal unassisted in the 2nd minute. And perhaps a chance now for Berlin on the attack. That's Tegan Morrison who leaves it. And now they flip the field. It was Bucknor that flipped it. Good crowd on hand here. It's a standalone game. It was a doubleheader on Sunday. And this one is going to end up back with Johnson. Mentioned the breeze. It's not as windy as it was. It's always the case. The sun starts to set, and it's actually clouded up a bit. There's no threat of rain. It's a gorgeous day, going to be a gorgeous next few days here in Erie. But what little breeze there is would actually be at Berlin's back. But again, I don't think it's anything to get worried about. Now to the near side. That was a nice ball. This is Dix with the cross. Boy, some of these Erie players are getting all kinds of space, and another nice strike there by the Commodores. That one goes tall into the right, but boy, they've had free reign down there. I'm surprised how much room the Erie players have had when they've had the ball down there.
Ladies, look for Brooklyn's feet. Good, Hannah.
And not a lot of contact there, but Emmanuel was fouled. And it'll be a free kick for Erie from 40 yards out.
You got backup. Why not?
Hannah Shepard. Near side to Haberski. Boy, beautiful move. Goes right around the defender. And another shot, and it's deflected, and it's in. That was an own goal. I believe it went off of 34, Ward, and I think that's going to be Haberski's second as an unfortunate deflection for Berlin.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 3, Rebecca Haberski. Her second.
So you say, yes, it's bad luck, but again, Haberski had all kinds of room to uncork a shot, and that's the second time that there was nothing Johnson could do when it goes off. It looked like maybe the side or the hip of Jada Ward. Nothing Ward could do either, but again, that pressure, you keep that much pressure on, you're going to get plenty of scoring chances, and it's already 2-0 Erie. In a whistle, and I think they were offside.
Drop in, Ella. Leah, keep dropping. Reassess if it goes short.
So a rough start here for FC Berlin out of Kitchener, Ontario. They made the trip. Erieites familiar with Kitchener in that their hockey program here, hockey team, the Erie Otters, longtime opponent, rival of the Kitchener Rangers in the Ontario Hockey League. Oh, a dangerous situation there, and it's going to be an Erie throw. Had Ward played it back to Johnson, two Erie players down there, that was Fidel and 9 Dix, would have sort of collapsed, and it was smart there to just kick it out and live to fight another day, and now it'll be an Berlin FC throw, a Berlin FC throw. Ooh, a late whistle there as some contact. And and we get an offside. And another chance now for Erie, looking to make it 3-0. There's the shot, and that's going to go in. This time it's Respecki. Wow.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 7, Brooklyn Respecki.
So it is 3-0 here now in the 13th minute.
Yellow, let's go the ball. Can we link in the midfield?
Commodores looking for a more long shot. This is going to end up being a corner. Here's the corner, and it goes off the football upright. Goal kick.
Good, Kylie. Good, Leah. Good spot right there. Yeah, yeah.
What an early onslaught. 2 Haberski goals, one technically an own goal, but it was a heck of a shot. I mean, it was really hard. It actually may have gone in anyway. And then a nice goal by Respecki, and it's 3-0 Erie. As at least here in the early going, if Berlin doesn't make some adjustments, the route is on, and Erie would love to collect a large margin here, of course, when it comes down to tiebreakers. So things have calmed down a little bit here after that early Erie onslaught. 3 goals in the first 11 minutes and 44 seconds. And it's 3-0 Commodores. They might have to stick with this yellow on blue combination. But almost no action. Actually, that might have been the furthest, and that was Tegan Morrison. Might have been the furthest that a Berlin player had taken it into the Erie zone, although now they've got perhaps something going over to the far side, but tracking it down is Dixon for Erie. Good battle going on, and it'll be a Commodores throw. Nice hustle over there by Olivia Dixon. '18th minute, 3-0 Commodores. Glad you could join us. Beautiful night in southeast Erie, Pennsylvania on this Father's Day weekend. And I'm not sure. I guess they're going to say goal kick. I wasn't quite sure what the nature of that whistle was. And offside. I'll check that. Excuse me. I think I guess they're saying she was out of bounds. So it'll be a throw for Berlin down in the near right side. It's preferable, again, behind us is a huge athletic field that's both soccer and baseball. And Sunday, they had other soccer games going on, which was fine, except the whistles from over there were confusing, at least to me. I mentioned then, you know, these women have been playing since they were 4 or 5 years old, so they're used to playing in big complexes where there's multiple games going on at once, so they just, you know, play through the whistle a little bit and go on, but threw me off a bit. But luckily, there's no whistles in baseball. Commodores looking to get their 4th goal here of the first 20 minutes. Well, Dix went down, and we're going to get a whistle, and a very late one on that contact where Dix went down. That was a good 3-4 seconds afterwards. But Erie will take it, and another pretty good scoring chance here. 2 Haberski goals. One was a beautiful strike to the top right of the net. The other one, a strike that ricocheted off of a Berlin player, and then a goal by Respecki at the 11:44 mark. That's where we are, 3-0 in the 21st minute. And Erie looking for more. And they do the little deke. Boy, that was a nice ball. It's poked away. It'll be a corner for Erie. You could, from our angle, we were right behind it, and you could see it really curve in there. That was a nice play by Johnson to just do what she could to get her hands on it and punch it out, but it will be a corner. Cleared out, but still Erie with a shot. Long shot is going to go tall and long.
The Commodores would like to thank Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Visit Erie, the Erie Sports Center, and John Russell Brewing Company. And a reminder, fans, that the concession stand is open at the northwest end of the stadium, featuring food, beverages, and beer from John Russell Brewing Company.
We're going to get early subs here.
Ladies, play feet. Pass and move. Keep it on the grind.
Paulina Leventes. And Alexandra Hassi will check in for Berlin here in the, it came at 20, right around the 23rd minute mark. Free kick Erie right at midfield. Blazing start. Commodores up 3-0. The Berlin's righted itself a little bit. Got to watch that hop and coming in. Obviously the keeper has the right there. On that old carpet AstroTurf that you saw all over the place in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s as well, into the early 2000s, it's possible that ball bounces right over the keeper. That was like felt on cement at some places. Most notably, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, which is no more. Played back to Yaros. She's hardly had to do anything back there. Berlin with no real scoring threats as of yet. No shots on goal that I can recall. Let's see if those subs can spur on an adjustment for Berlin and see if they can climb back into it, make a game of it. Right now, Erie firmly in control. Here we go again. It was 1-on-2. It was good hustle by Fidel, but couldn't quite split the defenders, but it will stay in down there in the corner. With that back line for Erie, too, we talked about the offense, obviously. Haberski with 2, Respecki with the 1, but that back line has been rock solid so far. Wow, how about that? The no-look behind the back pass. You won't see one prettier than that, but it's cleared away. Kept in, that's Shepard over there for Erie, and now they play it back into the middle. That was Dix, incidentally, that made that beautiful no-look pass with the back of her heel. And more nice passing here from Erie, and they'll get a throw-in down on the far side. 26th minute, 3-0 Erie. They scored 3 in the first 11:44 of this match, the first coming at the 1:30 mark. Kept in, nice cross, but nobody was back there. And well, no, there is somebody back there, but it was cleared out. Wasn't sure what, but Haberski was there. But just couldn't quite get there in time. And now contact, and we're going to get a whistle, I suspect, yes. So another good chance coming up for the Commodores as number 6, Leah Bermudez, was hit. Clean play, but was hit, and free kick Erie. Last time Cross and Keogh did a little bit of a deke, sort of a pump fake. And it was a beautiful attempt, but it just was off to the left, and Johnson just had to punch it out. We'll see what they come up with here. Same thing, and boy, it was another nice ball that just does sail tall into the left. Goal kick. Played up, look out. Middle, and twice there. Erie forgot the ball, but they still have a chance here. Thought maybe they'd try a one-timer there, but they'll reset. Berlin has just been on its heels this entire match so far here in the 28th minute. Played up. Not sure that Fidel was onside. Contact there, no whistle, didn't matter. And it's cleared away. Boy, how about that foot speed? Back the other way. Rovers, and it's knocked away. That was the first real scoring threat. Great speed there by Rovers, number 16, but was thwarted. See if Berlin's able to get some consistent pressure on Erie. And that one just dribbled it out. You see all the lines. The soccer line is the last one here. I mean, they've got lacrosse. They've got, I guess, 2 different lacrosse lines. They've got football, obviously. I'm not 100% sure what the blue one is, but you're playing lacrosse, it could get really confusing. But soccer is the, I mean, there's a dotted line. You know it's not that. So the yellow soccer line is the last one before you get to the stands. Sort of like the old days when you'd see a basketball court with three-point arcs. You don't see that as much anymore. Well, Grace Emanuel was frustrated there because she got tangled up, but they're going to say it just went out and it'll be a throw. We're going to get a substitution now. Eden Palkovic will come on for Erie. Keogh will come out. And that's it, just the one. Here's a chance in the box, and that was. What are they going to get? Are they going to get a PK here? What's this call here coming up? Who's chasing the play? Was the Erie defender? I believe that was Bermudez down there. I honestly, I thought he pointed to say as if it was a PK, but I mean, there was almost no. It is going to be a penalty. That's stunning. Jeez, wow. Boy, they had been really letting them play so far, and they call that. So a chance here for Berlin to creep a little bit closer, trailing 3-0. This is Tegan Morrison on the penalty kick. Got it.
Berlin FC goal scored by number 20, Tegan Morrison.
So Berlin, I was surprised that they called that. That was very iffy to me. Refs normally do a great job here, and maybe that was a good call. Maybe I just didn't see it correctly, but was surprised that they called that. So Berlin with some momentum now, trailing 3-1, but they've got to solve this problem of the field position as Erie has just been dominating in that area. And it'll be a throw for the Commodores. Paberski, who has 2 goals, will come up and take it. And you hear the fans there. They didn't like the sort of iffy PK call, the foul in the last one in the box. They wanted a similar call but didn't get it.
Move again! Yeah, all three of them can't be. Move again!
You see those, I'm not sure if you can see them. I suspect you can, those trees moving over there. So it's actually gotten a little breezier. And now that wind, it's kind of across the field. It's from where we are, which is your point of view. We're behind you, to across the field. So I'm not sure it's really helping anyone at the moment. 35th minute, 3-1 Erie.
Good luck. Move again!
Played back. Good battle down there. Haberski. And it's going to be a throw for now we're going to get subs. I was waiting to see what the deal was.
The long balls are just unnecessary 50-50s. You can find better solutions.
Maya Markowicz and Balin Ty into the game.
No pressure, no pressure. Connect it. Good, Chris. Wide. Open body shoot. Can we find room to be more? Good, Leah.
Oh boy. Another whistle. Looked like Erie was going to have a decent opportunity there. You might be able to hear the vociferous dissatisfaction from the Commodore fans down below me. They're still peeved about that foul that was called in the box that resulted in the penalty kick, which resulted in Berlin's goal. And now we're going to get a foul on Berlin down there, as Dixon was hit in the shoulder and went down. A lot of fouls called. especially over the last couple of minutes. No cards have been issued as of yet. We're in the 38th minute, but this first half has flown by. I guess that happens when you score 3 early goals. Poked up, offside. A lot of subs in this game as well. Already 4 for Berlin, 1 for Erie. We have been incredibly fortunate with the weather here this season. Every night it seems like it has been an afternoon. It's been cool. I mean, when I say cool, not hot. This one played in. What a beautiful ball, and it's loose, and keeper's down. There's 2 Berlin players down in addition to the keeper, Johnson, and they kick it out. They never did stop play. They didn't call a foul on Erie. Erie kicked it out so they could go 10 to the injured players, and they're going to have to get the training staff out there.
You're missing out on the team huddle. Sorry. No, it's fine. Via user speed and behind, we can play your feet, we'll show feet. I'll kind of tell back to send you more long. So if we find Brooklyn's feet, then it can go to you. But let's get you in behind. Be dangerous. Hit shots. You were banging them in yesterday, so why not? No point doing it in practice if you don't do it here. Sure. Hop on. Sub, ref! Ref! Can we sub? Give him your card. Give him your card. Like the ref. Go get him.
Well, this is certainly an unfortunate and sort of unusual situation where we see 2 players down for an extended period of time. The keeper, Johnson, I still can't tell who the other player is that is down. At least Johnson is now sitting up, and it appeared that they were looking at both women's legs or feet or knees, lower bodies, usually, and Johnson's not going to be able to continue. She's going to have to be helped off. A lot of times when you see those collisions down near the net, it involves the head or the chest area, but both seem to be lower body injuries here, and you just hope that they end up being okay.
Once again, fans, a reminder that the concession stand is open, featuring food, beverages, and beer from John Russell Brewing Company. The Commodores would like to thank John Russell Brewing Company, along with Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Visit Erie, Northwest Savings Bank, Budweiser, Velocity Network, UPIC 6, and Erie Sports Center. For more information about the Commodores, visit us at eriecommodores.com, on Twitter at Erie_Commodores, on Facebook at Erie Commodores FC, or on Instagram at Erie Commodores. The Commodore women's squad home season concludes on Saturday, July 8th, right here at Mercyhurst when they host Flower City. That match beginning at 5 p.m.
So both players were able to walk off somewhat under their own power with assistance, but the good news is they were able to walk off because they were down for a long time. And we'll see who ends up going in goal here for Berlin. Both players clearly shaken up. I mean, the good news is, and I still don't know who the player other than the keeper Johnson was because they don't have numbers on the front, and they're both being walked toward me. But the good news is they're both able to keep weight, it looks like, on both legs or feet. But nevertheless, a scary situation here. And the odd thing was it didn't look from here, obviously it was, but it didn't look like a particularly violent collision. And, of course, it was between two Berlin players. Berlin, on the roster I was given as I looked through it, does not have another player listed as a keeper. Now, I'm sure a number of the players has experience in net. But with the shirt on, I'm not going to be able to tell you until halftime who that is going in the black jersey. It's just one of the other players not listed as a keeper that's going in there in goal right now. And I can now tell you that was Jada Ward, the other Berlin player that was injured. She's being looked at. It looks like they're looking at her right ankle below me here on the training table, but they're about ready to go. So I will ascertain at halftime who that is in net now for Berlin. But certainly changes the mood of this game and of this crowd, certainly. Despite that most recent goal, in the 30th minute, the penalty kick by Morrison for Berlin. It was still 3-1 Erie, and everyone was in a pretty good mood. So we're back underway now in the 45th minute, but obviously we're going to get a lot of extra time with that injury, I suspect. They could just hold it over till the second half, I guess, but I think we'll get quite a bit. So 45th minute now and a run over there on the far side. Markowicz and a whistle. And are we going to get another penalty kick? Yeah, now we have some jawing with the Berlin coach and some of the fans. That's not good. We're going to get another Erie has thoroughly outplayed Berlin in this match, and now 2 penalty kicks in the first half. This one's coming in extra time. And they could very well be down only 1 goal going into the break. It's kind of stunning. This will be Morrison again, who hit home the first one. Actually, Yarrow guessed correctly on that first one, the keeper. She just couldn't quite get there in time. And that one finds the left corner of the net, and somehow, stunningly, Berlin is within 1 here.
Berlin goal, penalty kick scored by number 20, Tegan Morrison, her second.
So, I mean, it looked like Erie was going to coast to this win, up 3-0 in the first 12 minutes. And they still may. I mean, they've, as I said, thoroughly outplayed this team. It's just that they've gotten Berlin, they being Berlin, they've gotten 2 drives toward the net, and in both instances, they've called fouls, resulting in a penalty kick. And Tegan Morrison, who's got a great leg, obviously, has pounded both right home. And you're now going up against a backup keeper who is not normally a keeper, at least not for this team. Again, a lot of these players come up in high school. Some of them at least play goalie, move on to other positions. But they did not have, they being Berlin, another keeper listed on their roster as Johnson went out in that collision with Ward. Johnson now being tended to on the trainer's table. They're looking at her, looks like her knee, unfortunately. So hopefully they'll turn out to be okay. Nice speed here. Keeper's out, and boy, that looked like a handball from the keeper who was out of the box. But they don't get the call. It'll be a throw-in for Erie. And, again, I don't know who that is in net, but very dangerous there. Can't blame her. And probably not all that experienced playing keeper at this point, but we'll find out at the break. And, boy, that's a nice shot that just goes tall. It's one of the more bizarre first halves I can recall in doing. Of course, this women's team is young as far as when they were founded, but I've done the men's games a number of years. I don't know that I can recall a half stranger than this one, to be perfectly honest, between the 3 early goals. I mean, it looked early. Erie's going to win 7-1 or something like that. And then you have the very few runs for Berlin, but the 2 of them end up in penalty kicks, which they convert. And then you had the collision as 2 players, one of them Johnson, the keeper, the other Ward, had to come out of the game. We'll see if either's able to get back in after the break, but not guessing it's not looking good. But Erie, again, they've had the pressure on the entire first half. We'll see if maybe they can steal a goal here and reclaim a multiple goal lead going into the locker room. Shot loose. Oh, was headed out. That was a nice play. I thought that was going to get to that back line for Erie. It did not. And that's going to do it for a very interesting first half of play. 3-2 Erie. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes.
Once again, fans, the concession stand at the northwest end of the stadium is attached to the hockey rink, offering food, beverages, and beer from John Russell Brewing Company. Stop by at halftime. Once again, the Commodores would like to thank Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Visit Erie, UPIC 6, Northwest Savings Bank, Budweiser, Velocity Network, Erie Sports Center, and John Russell Brewing for their support during the 2023 season. 1 minute 30-second mark of that first half. Rebecca Habersky made it 1-0 Erie. In the 8-minute mark, Habersky made it 2-0 Erie. And at the 11:44 mark, Brooklyn Respecki made it 3-0 Erie. In the 30th minute for Berlin, Tegan Morrison with a penalty kick goal. Then again, in extra time, Tegan Morrison with a penalty kick goal.
The second half, as we're just about to get underway, note that in goal now for Berlin will be Florencia Almada, who briefly spoke to. She, in a smart move, because hadn't played a ton of keeper. She said she played some keeper for this team, Berlin, but stayed out there during the break and was practicing out there in goal. If you're just joining us, Hannah Johnson, the Berlin keeper, got collided. I was going to say tangled up, but collided with, really, Jada Ward. They both sustained lower body injuries. Ward, I'm looking down below, or rather Johnson, the keeper, has almost her entire right leg taped up. So you hope it's not horribly serious stuff there, obviously. And then Ward, I have not seen her out there either. So we're underway here in the second half. Erie completely dominated as far as field position, so on and so forth. They led it 3-0. Rebecca Habersky put one through in the minute 30 mark with, you won't see a prettier goal than that. She scored again in the 8-minute mark with a hard strike that ricocheted off of the shoulder of a Berlin player. It went in, 2-0. And then at the 11:44 mark, Brooklyn Respecki put one in for Erie to make it 3-0. And it looked like the route was on, certainly. But what some might say a questionable call on a foul in the box led to a penalty kick. Tegan Morrison pushed it through in the 30th minute, and then due to a handball committed by the Commodores in the box in extra time, Tegan Morrison went up there again and pounded it through again. And so it's 3-2 Erie. I was saying up here in the press box, I don't think anyone was listening, it was like a football game, where an American football game where you outgain a team 4-1, but the other team has 2 pick sixes, and it's a close game, closer than perhaps it should be. We'll see if Erie can reclaim that aggression and the goal scoring that they showed in the first 12 minutes to go up 3-0. Boy, that was a nice ball up in front. Florencia Almada, the new keeper, who came on again very late after that collision in the first half in black there for Berlin, didn't really have to, I mean, was not out there very long, but when she was out there, acquitted herself pretty well. But you talk about sort of trial by fire. Again, not listed as a keeper, but is out there now, has played some keeper, as I said, just before the half, and that one was cleared, but Erie will maintain possession. Oh, beautiful ball up, onside. Cross, header, and it's a goal! You won't see it any better than that. Commodores reclaim a multiple goal lead. It is 4-2.
That Erie Commodores goal was scored by number 10, Ella Fidel.
Fidel, I had to figure it out so I could announce it over the PA. That was Fidel that put it in, and Erie immediately reclaims the momentum here just about 2.5 minutes in to this second half. They lead at 4-2 on a gorgeous header and a beautiful cross. And whistle, and what do we have, offside? But boy, Erie, I mentioned, they've sort of reclaimed the momentum, certainly, and the goal scoring that they had early in the game. And we're going to get a yellow here on Erie, I think. Was that issued to Fidel? Usually when they issue a card, they sort of, well, it's obviously on Erie because it's going to be a Berlin free kick. Bex Young not happy. You don't see her normally that animated down there, but she was very unhappy with that yellow. Chance here for Erie. Good battle going on, and boy, that could be a trip in the box, and no whistle. And the fans are irate about the lack of consistency as far as calls being made in the box, or not made in that case. I got to say, there was way more contact in that instance than there was for the first penalty kick that was awarded to Berlin in the 30th minute. I mean, it's not even close. Now, maybe they're saying that the Erie player initiated contact, I guess. In that case, why wouldn't it have been a foul right off the bat on Erie? At any rate, it's still 4-2. We're in the 53rd minute. Gorgeous night if you're just joining us. The wind no longer a factor. Sun setting here. Getting a little more overcast. It'll be good sleeping weather, as the meteorologists say. About 60, probably about 65 degrees right now. Free kick Commodores. But that's got to be frustrating for Berlin because even though, again, they were outplayed, nevertheless, it doesn't matter. They were within a goal and had scored the last two to make it 3-2, and then boom, 2 minutes, 30-odd seconds into the second half, Erie strikes in the form of a Fidel header, and it's 4-2 Commodores. Commodores' passing has been on point all night, and of course, as soon as I say that, one of them gets intercepted. Nevertheless. Chipped up. Another chance for Fidel, perhaps. Now it's left. Kicked out. It'll be a throw for Erie. Beautiful cross. Just quite overshot. The intended receiver down there was Dix. It was a nice ball by Dixon. Dixon to Dix. Just didn't quite work out. And we're going to get a corner. It's like Kylie Cross, aptly named, will go over to take it. Grace Emanuel is down there as well. See if she opts to play it short. Little give and go. Boy, that was a nice effort. That actually hit the football crossbar, but still a heck of a strike from about, I don't know, 25 yards out as the crow flies, and she was fading away. 56th minute, 4-2. Erie in front. They led it 3-0. Berlin cut it to 3-2 at the break. Erie with a quick goal here in the second half, and that's where we stand. But this half playing out much like the first in that Erie is firmly in control of the field position, and made even worse for Berlin in that they're playing now with a backup keeper in the form of Florencia Almada. That one headed out. I mean, it's one thing to be like a backup keeper and you can mentally say, okay, I might get in at keeper, but Almada, I mean, you talk about a tough situation to come into, was not listed as a keeper in this match, even though she has played there. So she's probably thinking coming in, all right, I'm not going to start, but if I'm going to play, I'll be out on the field, and that's that. as, ooh, the ref goes down. No contact. Hope he's okay. And Fidel tried to put it. She mishit it, and then the keeper mishit it, and it had English as such that it went backwards into the Etna sign, and it'll be another corner for Erie. This time from the near side. Well, that was an odd sequence. And we'll do it again. And they're going to go short again. Boy, how about that move? In the middle, loose in front. There's the shot. Oh, it was deflected. Oh, that was a beautiful entry pass on the cross and a great opportunity for Erie by the wayside. Just somewhat unlucky there, but they'll keep the pressure on, as has been the case all evening. Played back, but it's, I mean, literally 1-on-4 back there. And this will be the first time, that's the first time that the Erie keeper, McKenna Yarrow, has touched the ball here, and we're 13.5 minutes into the second half. At least by my recollection. If she touched it one previous time, it wasn't much and it wasn't for long. I believe that was her first touch here, 13 minutes. That just shows you how dominant Erie has been controlling this game. And they'll get a throw down there on the far side in front of some sort of metal device combined with a net that we're not 100% sure how they use it to train for football. Middle, but nobody was home, and it's just booted away. Boy, that was a nice job. Shepard was going to her right and was able to head it back the other direction to thwart a potential run out. Still, it wouldn't have been numbers for Berlin, but that was a nice play by 22, Hannah Shepard. And, ooh, that got a little dicey there, but good job. Almada goes out and smothers the ball. Erie throw. 61st minute, Commodores in front, 4-2. Oberski with a couple of goals for Erie, along with Respecki and Fidel. And for Berlin, 2 Tegan Morrison goals on 2 Tegan Morrison penalty kicks. Oh, chance here in the middle. Oh, a beautiful sort of toe shot. But it goes tall. That was Respecki, and that was all she could really do there. And perhaps trying to chip it over Almada, but just to get there was a heck of a job by Respecki. I was just going to say, finally, Berlin with an offensive push, but it's quickly thwarted by the Commodores, and now it's going back in that direction. And Erie's going to have a throw. You get the feeling that one more goal here for Erie, and they could really breathe a lot easier. Because as we saw in that first half, you never know what could happen. Berlin could get a couple more penalty kick opportunities, and never know. Or obviously they could score a conventional goal. 63rd minute, 4-2 Erie. Played up, battle shot, goal! I think that was Fidel again, number 10. And it is 5-2, and now she's got 2.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 10, Ella Fidel. Her second.
Expect contact. You're going to get hit hard.
So it is now 5-2 Erie, back in command. Fidel with her second of the half, and we could see a hat trick tonight. Both Fidel and Habersky with 2 each. We'll see how long they keep them out there. Erie has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on their bench. But that time the keeper, Almada, came out and she just sort of poked it past her and put it in. And so it is now 5-2 Erie. So this has been a game of runs. 3 straight goals for Erie, 2 for Berlin, now 2 for Erie to start the second half. Commodores in front 5-2, 65th minute. And Yarrow one-times it out of there and up the field. Boy, that's going to get a big roll. Nobody was down there, and it's going to end up being an Erie throw down there. How about that flip of the field? Commodores leading it 5-2. Tell you what, this game has been really entertaining, if nothing else. Their last home outing against Buffalo was entertaining if you were a Buffalo fan. They're just on another level. That Buffalo club was talking with some folks before the game. They got a couple of players who played professionally overseas. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just they're just stacked, and boy, were they impressive. But this is the most impressive, without question, I've seen the Commodores this campaign. That cross actually got by the keeper. Heads up play by one of the defenders back there. I couldn't see who it was for Berlin to get it out of there. So Fidel with 2 on the night, as we mentioned, now in the 69th minute of this match. Another chance, bad bounce for Berlin. Coming out is the keeper, and nice job there by Almada to cover it up. That one, it looked like initially Berlin was going to get it clear, but it bounced off of somebody. And you had the possibility, they already had what was technically an own goal. I mean, it was an own goal, the second of the night. It wasn't like they kicked it in. But Herberski's second goal at the 8-minute mark ricocheted off of, I believe, the hip of a player from Berlin, and that made it 2-0 Erie. Almost had a similar circumstance down there. And that was not kept in. It'll be a goal kick. And we're going to get 3 subs coming in here for Berlin.
Play left back or right back. You're playing right back.
Valentic is back in. Miranto is back in. And Bernard is back in. All were in the initial starting lineup. Makes it easy for me. I don't have to write anything down. 20 minutes plus some extra time remaining in this one. And that's all that separates the Commodores from a big win. Again, was talking with Bex Young, the Commodores head coach, before the match. Optimistic about their postseason chances. Knew they had to get a win today. And it looks like they're well on their way to doing just that. And again, also big, it was 3-2 at the break, that they get that margin because, as everyone watching knows, and I mentioned at the first half, of course, ooh, that one was cleared, and it went right off the shoulder of one of the Berlin players down there on the bench, but was unfazed by it. It was bounced right off her shoulder, and they play on. But goal differential, huge factor, of course. So a win of import, if they can keep a 3-goal margin or perhaps even maintain on it. But this has been the best attacking we've seen from Berlin this half, and maybe even of the entire match. They get a cross into the middle, and it's headed out. Boy, that was a nice ball there to get it over everybody. Believe that was Respecki. Now it might have been Fidel, actually, that got it up over, and now it's Erie with possession. Corner coming up for Erie, looking to increase their 3-goal lead here in the 3rd minute of this match. Glad you could join us. Hope everyone out there enjoys their Father's Day tomorrow. And while I am not a father, I feel that I can speak freely on this matter. If your dad says he doesn't want to do anything for Father's Day, perhaps he wants to stay home and watch the U.S. Open golf, just let him do it. It's his day. If he wants to go fishing, if he wants to play golf, let him do it. You don't need to go out to brunch. I thought there'd be a push there on Dixon. She got away with one. There wasn't intentional, but as she was advancing down the field, pushed a Berlin player in the back. Can't exactly see the number right now. Checking back in for Erie is Keogh. And checking out is Fidel. 2 second-half goals, so her evening is done, and she gets a well-deserved rest. No hat trick, though, but I'm sure she'll take the 2 second-half goals that have given Erie all kinds of breathing room here in the final 17-plus minutes of this match. And right there has been kind of a microcosm of the night for Berlin. Whenever they've gotten some pressure, just been one step off as far as getting to the ball, but they do get a throw here. And that one on, and that the first shot on goal of the evening, other than the penalty kicks for Berlin, but it went right to Yarrow, and she gobbled it up easily on the fly on a line drive. And same deal. This time she goes to the ground to smother it up, but there was nobody in the vicinity whatsoever as far as a possible rebound. That was a long shot. '76th minute. Hard to believe the Commodores down to one home game left. July 8th when they take on Flower City. And I've heard of the Gem City, which is Erie, or the flagship city, the Queen City. All kinds of cities. Never heard of Flower City. It was a nice ball up in front. See if Erie can get a cross off. It was Dix down there with it. Dix 1-on-2. Nice ball into the middle, but too much traffic. Flower City, incidentally, I looked it up, out of Rochester. So maybe that's known as the Flower City. I was unaware if that's the case. Erie has 2, and I feel that I can do some background at this point, although we'll see if they get something going here. They will not. Erie was always known as the Gem. Say we get our first foul ball during the game, and it was gobbled up nicely there by Hannah Shepard, number 22. Defender and shortstop flipped it out. But Erie was always known as the Gem City, the way that I guess the lake looked in the sun as a gem. But they've really upped this flagship city thing with the flagship Niagara, and I think that's a good one. That's a unique name. I believe a couple others are known as the Gem City. It's certainly more clever than the Land. Another sub coming up, Eden Palkovic, who subbed in the first half, will come in for Erie. Here now in the 78th minute. As Haberski will check out, so 2 goals for Haberski, both coming, well, to start the game in the 1:30 mark and then the 8-minute mark. So what a night for her. That might be, and this is just off the top of my head as far as home games. I can't speak to the road games. As far as I recall now, this is a very young program. First time that they've had 2 players score 2 goals in a match. I'll try to get the info on that and let you know at the next home game on the 8th of July. It's been almost a foul-free second half here. We really didn't see a whole lot until there were about 10 minutes left in that first half, and then they tightened up with a whistle, but the contact tightened up as well, so it was rightfully so. But been a very clean game overall. Unfortunately, Hannah Johnson and Jada Ward for Berlin. Boy, what a beautiful ball in there, and nice job by Almada to grab that out of the air. Again, Almada not listed tonight as a keeper, had to come in for Johnson, who collided with Ward toward the end of the first half. Both were down for a number of minutes, but were able to walk off with assistance. Both got treatment, so you just hope that they're both okay. They both appeared to be lower body. When I say that, leg, foot, ankle. Boy, beautiful ball to the outside, and uncorking one, and it just misses. Optical illusion. It's not in. It went over the top of the net, but what a shot by Dix. I thought it was going to fall in, but just a little bit tall. 80th minute. Light starting to come on here for the final 10 minutes or so here at Mercyhurst. They're actually still playing baseball behind us. It's a club tournament. You got teams from Erie, Pittsburgh, wherever else all, but probably getting harder for them to see. They don't have lighting over on that baseball field. It's a great baseball facility. If you've watched our games, you've heard me rave about it. They just replaced the turf about a year ago. It's first class and the only turf baseball field in this region. So it gets a lot of use for high school club action, and obviously Mercyhurst University, which is one of the best Division II programs in all of Pennsylvania, really in this area. We're going to get a yellow. First yellow of the night issued to Berlin. Comes at the 82nd minute mark. And looks like it went to Valentic. And we're going to get another substitution here. Leah Bretz will check in. Local product out of Erie. This Commodore team, a lot of local flavor on it. Not exclusively, but a lot of players from Erie and surrounding areas, McCain, Wattsburg, etc., who played high school in District 10. And it's a big, stark difference from the men's team that has players from truly all over the world. It's remarkable how they find these guys and get them to come to Erie. But be a good bunch of guys to have on your team for like Trivial Pursuit as far as world geography. Now Berlin trying to matriculate down the field and maybe get a goal here as this game winds down now in the 83rd minute. Commodores in front 5-2. And we are going to get a foul on Erie here. So a free kick as Moranto went down. And this will be the best scoring opportunity of this second half. And really the best scoring opportunity of the match, other than the 2 PKs that they had and that were put in by Morrison in the first half. This will be Hoger to take it. See that 2-person wall. And it goes right to Yarrow, who just bangs it out of there. Didn't want to risk a rebound with that conglomeration of players there out to her right. And so now here comes Erie. And they'll get a throw out of this. And we're going to get a yellow on the Commodores now. Looks like they get Dix here in the 85th minute. And some of those at this point could be compilations where the ref says if you do a shove or something one more time, we're going to get you for it. Nothing intentional there. And a very clean game, really, with the exception of the collision with Almada and Ward. But those were 2 players on the same team going up for a rebound after an Erie shot attempt. And again, certainly hope that they're okay and able to get out there for the next match for Berlin.
Brooklyn, shift a little higher. Shift a little higher. You got Eden! Open up.
Commodores looking to preserve a 3-goal result here, 5-2. They've outscored Berlin 2-0. Actually, should say that Fidel outscored them 2-0 here in the second half. Those have been the only 2 goals. She has checked out for the evening, as did Rebecca Habersky, who scored the first 2 goals of this match. Also, Brooklyn Respecki has one for Erie. And Tegan Morrison, what a beautiful spin move. Morrison with the 2 PK goals for Berlin. A little bit of contact, and they're going to get a foul on Berlin. So it'll be a free kick for Erie here. How about the moves, though, by Olivia Dixon, spinning her way down the field, maintaining possession, drawing the foul. And it'll be a free kick here for the Commodores in the 87th minute. Line drive, and it goes right to the keeper, Almada. Again, can't say enough about Florencia Almada. Again, coming in, was not slated to play keeper. Sort of a battlefield promotion after Hannah Johnson went out with the injury. But she came in. She does have experience, as we said, playing, but again, you're not mentally preparing yourself to go in net. as a sub, but she's done an admirable job here in the second half. And we're hearing some fireworks out off in the distance. Not sure why you'd shoot them off before dark, but to each their own. 88th minute, 5-2. Erie in front, looking to get one more in here before this thing wraps up. Can't imagine we're going to have much extra time here. And it'll be a free kick for Erie. Other than the 2 goals, there have really been no stoppages of any kind. Headed out, and that went off the football goalpost. I couldn't tell if it was the upright or crossbar. Doesn't matter. 89th minute. And Laura Gully will come in. She started this match, come in the 89th minute, almost the 90th minute. And now Berlin trying to get one through here as we are in the 90th minute. Commodores in front 5-2. Haberski scored it a minute 30 in. She added another one that actually ricocheted off of a Berlin player at the 8-minute mark. Brooklyn Respecki scored at the 11:44 mark, and 12 minutes in, Erie led it 3-0, but a iffy call on a penalty kick, a foul in the box. Tegan Morrison put in the PK for Berlin. And then she, after an Erie handball in the box, put one through in extra time to make it 3-2. That was the score at the break. And they get one in here in extra time. So they steal a goal, does Berlin. And it's 5-3. And as soon as she turns around, I'll be able to tell you who it was. And it was Hoger.
Berlin goal scored by number 3, Catherine Hoger.
So 5-3 should be our final as we are now into extra time. And that shot goes tall.
Guys, man to man. Kylie, man to man. Coming in, Catherine, call it out. Coming in.
In extra time, Commodores will get a corner here, obviously. And it goes off the post. And they're going to give him another one. Or not. That'll do it. Nice win for Erie. They overcome some momentum that Berlin took into the locker room. Erie led it 3-0. Berlin got it to 3-2 at the break. Erie with a couple of goals. Again, Haberski with 2, Respecki with 1, and then Ella Fideo with 2 in the second half. And then just in the 90th minute for Berlin, Hoger puts one in, Catherine Hoger. That's where we end up, 5-3. Final score, this has been Jack Quinn. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.